Right, everyone, welcome back. I'm Deepening Ghosh, and today I want to give you what I consider the master overview of the entire Jupiter in Cancer transit. Alright, now I have done individual videos for each ascendants. I have done uh, I have done videos on specific sub events within this transit. But today I want to step back and give you the complete 5 month timeline, chapter by chapter, so you understand exactly how this entire period unfolds from beginning to end. Because here is something very important that I need you to understand right at the start. Jupiter is moving unusually fast in 2026. This means opportunities are going to appear and disappear more quickly than usual. If you are someone who likes to wait and see before you act, 2026 is going to test that habit. You need to understand the timeline so you can move at the right moment instead of missing them. Alright, now let's get into it. Let me start why this specific transit carries so much weight. Jupiter becomes exalted in Cancer. This is called Ucha in Sanskrit. Sometimes they call it Hindi also, but I mean officially it's a Sanskrit word which is called Ucha. I mean exaltation, very powerful. All right, so it means that Jupiter, the planet most associated with wisdom, expansion, teaching, is operating at its absolute highest strength. At the very same time, interestingly, Mars become debilitated in Cancer. Mars is, soldier, the planet of aggression and impulsive action. So what is happening cosmically is that the wise teacher is rising to his throne while the aggressive soldier is being humbled. This combination amplifies very specific themes globally and personally. Generational wealth, deep wisdom, family karma, and most importantly, it is the one window in this entire decade where raw ego gets neutralized by genuine emotional intelligence. Alright, there is also a beautiful mythological stories connected to this placement that I want to share because I think it gives real depth to what this transit is asking for you. So, in the old stories, Jupiter, who is called the Brihaspati, was married to Tara, and there was a period of rupture in their relationship. When Tara eventually returned to Jupiter, she was carrying a child, Mercury, who was not originally his, and Jupiter made a choice. Instead of rejecting the child of disruption, he chose to nurture him as his own, to dignify what he did not consciously choose. So this story is essentially the curriculum of 2026. Throughout this transit, you are going to encounter things on your own life that you did not choose. Disruptions, unexpected situations, things that come from rupture rather than from your careful planning. And all that lesson from this transit is asking you, how will you dignify these unchosen things? How will you nurture what you did not plan for and turn what feels like wound into something that actually becomes a part of your legacy? So keep that story in mind and we go through the timeline because it will show up in the different ways of different signs. Alright. Now before we get into 4 chapters, let me give you one simple boundaries of this transit. The golden window runs from 2nd June 2026 to October 31, 2026. So 5 months of Jupiter being exalted in Cancer. But here is something very important. Jupiter will retrograde back into Cancer starting January 25, 27, 2027, and when it comes back, it essentially audits everything that was planted during this 5 month. The retrograde phase checks whether what you built was genuine and solid or not, or whether it was rush whether it was rushed and built on haste rather than truth. So think of the next 5 months as a planting session, and January 2027 as the universe checks on what actually grew. Alright. Now, June is what I call the breakthrough month. And within June, there is a specific date that matters more than any other. On June 18, Jupiter reaches exactly 5 degrees of Cancer. This is called Param Ucha, the point of deepest exaltation, the absolute peak strength that Jupiter can have anywhere in the zodiac. What makes this date even more special is something called Vargottama. Jupiter at his specific point is in the fourth quarter of Punarvasu Nakshatra, which places it in Cancer in both the main birth chart and the Navamsha, the deeper soul chart, D9 chart, whatever we say. And when a planet holds the same powerful position in both charts simultaneously, its strength is considered exceptional. Now, combined with specific called Pushkara Nakshatra, oh, combined with something called the Pushkara Navamsha degree, which is a specific healing coordinate within the zodiac, June 18 represents the single highest concentration of healing potential and raw luck that you will see in an entire decade. This is genuinely the window for what I would call impossible moves. The things you have wanted to do but felt were too big, too ambitious, too far out of reach. This is the window where attempting them carries the most cosmic support you will get for the years. Alright. Now July is very different from June. Alright. Uh, and I call this chapter the danger zone because the external world essentially comes to halt. Two things happen simultaneously in July. Mercury goes retrograde in Cancer starting from June 29 and continuing until July 24, and Jupiter goes into combustion from July 14 to August 12, meaning it gets too much close to Sun and its outward expression gets overpowered. When both of these things are happening at the same time, external growth genuinely hits a wall. This is not the time for this is not the time to force a marriage, sign a property deal, or launch a major corporate initiative. If you push for external win during this window, it tends to come out hollow, lacking the substance it would have had if you had waited. But I do not want you to think of July as a wasted month. It is actually the opposite. This is what I call a 10x window for internal growth, correcting past mistakes, reflecting deeply, preparing yourself so that when the light rises again in August, you are genuinely ready for it. Think of July as a quiet preparation before the next phase of growth. Use it for reflection and not for launching. Next, we have August and September. August and September brings a shift back towards forward movement, but with a very different quality than Jupiter had. As Jupiter emerges from Sun's combustion, it forms a supportive trine with Saturn, which is sitting in Pisces. This is a beautiful combination because Saturn provides exactly the kind of structural foundation that Jupiter's fast Atichari motion usually lacks. Jupiter alone moving this quickly can feel ungrounded, but with Saturn's trine support, the growth in August and September has actual bones underneath it. On September 18, Mars enter Cancer. Now technically Mars become debilitated in this position, which would normally be considered weak or even troublesome. There is a real risk during this window of passive aggressive communication pattern and inflammatory health issues showing up. But here is the fascinating part, because Jupiter is also sitting in Cancer at the same time as this debilitated Mars. A specific a very specific and very powerful combination forms. It called the Neech Bhanga Raj Yoga. It means that debilitation of Mars get cancelled and actually transform into productive. Instead of frustration and aggression, this combination converts into productive courage. This is genuinely a good window to use that courage to serve ties with toxic ancestral patterns, family habits, generational beliefs, or inherited emotional patterns that have been holding you back. August and September gives you the courage to, courage to finally let go of them. All right. Now next, the last we have the October. Now October brings the close of the golden window. On October 31, Jupiter exits Cancer and enters Leo, and this shift is this shifts the overall theme from inner security to outward leadership. The focus moves from what you built inside yourself during this 5 month to how you now express that outward into the world. But the story does not end here. On November 25, 2026, Ketu enters Cancer, and Ketu being the planet of detachment and unfinished karma triggers what I call the shadow work of the year. Where is what this means practically? Whatever emotional baggage you did not fully possess or clear during this 5 month golden window gets forcibly released by Ketu as we move toward the end of the year and into January 2027 retrograde audit. So the message is very clear. Use this 5 month wisely. Do the inner work while Jupiter's grace is actively supporting you, because Ketu does not ask politely. It releases what was not consciously cleared, and that release can feel more abrupt and more uncomfortable than the gentle invitation Jupiter was offering. All right. Okay, now let me go through what this 5 month window means for each ascendant specifically. Remember, your ascendant shows the actual event, not your moon sign or your emotional reaction to this event. All right. Okay, so first we have the Aries ascendant. Right, so Aries ascendant, Jupiter is over here in the fourth house. All right. Now for Aries ascendant, Jupiter activates your fourth house, right? The focus shift the focus shifts to home and inner peace. Real estate gains and healing on your relationship with your mother are both supported health wise. Health wise, pay attention to your chest and lung area. Do not let outside chaos disrupt the inner sanctuary you are building at home. All right. Now next we have the Taurus. Oh my god. So Taurus, if it's 2, 3, 4 over here. So for Taurus, your third house lightens up for this Taurus ascendant. Your self effort engine ignites. Breakthrough the media, consultation, consulting, communication based work are favored very much. Be careful not to over expert your arms and shoulder during this high energy network period. Spending time in nature helps you ground the mental intensity this window brings. All right. Now we have the Gemini. So for Gemini, Jupiter is over here in the second house. Now for Gemini ascendant, your second house wealth activates. This is a wealth retention phase for you specifically. Money that comes in finally starts to stick rather than slipping away. Your speech becomes magnetic and carries real authority, right? You watch your throat and your dental health, and be mindful about a tendency toward weight gain and overindulgence during this period. Now Cancer, Jupiter is over here on your first house only. Now, for Cancer, this is your 12-year peak. Jupiter is in your own sign. Confusion that has been building for years dissolve into absolute clarity. The health consideration here is that Jupiter's expansion on your own sign often leads to physical weight gain. Stays physically active to manage this growth in a healthy way. Now next we have Leo. I don't know why I can't. Alright. So for Leo, Jupiter is in your 12th house, right? Now for Leo, Jupiter activates your 12th house, alright? This brings karmic cleansing through foreign connection and retreats. Quality of sleep becomes very important during this window. You may experience some kind of vivid dreams that feel disorienting or even strange. Salt water soaks are genuinely helpful for grounding your energy, especially as you are prepared for Jupiter entering on your own sign in October. Alright, now next we have Virgo. So Jupiter is over here. Now for Virgo, I think this is one of the most excellent placement, because Virgo, Jupiter is sitting on your 11th house. Comment me down below, alright, if you're Virgo ascendant, especially if you're Virgo ascendant. So for Virgo, 11th house of gains activates. Multiple income streams arrive through your collaboration and partnerships. Multiple income sources. You will find money is coming from somewhere unexpected, where you never worked before, where you never expected. Alright, this is an excellent placement for Virgo. And one more thing is that the health caution here is that over optimism in social situation can lead to digestive issues for you. Audit your network carefully, and do not let unethical or draining people siphon off the gains that window is offering you. All right. Okay. So next we have Libra. Okay, Jupiter is over here. Now Libra, 10th house activates your career 10th house activates 10th house of career activates, all right, for Libra. This is a genuine professional elevation, moving you from worker to leader. Your public reputation rises quickly during this period. Watch your posture and protect your bone health, all right, in this transit. Take real breaks to avoid total professional burnouts, because the pace of this growth can be intense. Now, one more thing I want to talk about Libra. I have seen so many comments in my comment section that people are saying that, sir, Libra, for I am Libra ascendant, I'm not getting my career rise, I'm not getting a job, my business is not growing, and all that. Listen to me very carefully. All right, if you keep thinking that Jupiter transiting on Cancer, Jupiter is transiting on Cancer, and now I will get a job, you will never get a job like this. You can only get a job if you apply for a job. Jupiter's energy is a divine energy which will help you to get that job simultaneously from the backbone of your career. Jupiter will not come from sky to the earth to you that, all right, you are not getting a job, let me apply a job for you. No, Jupiter is not going to do that. It's not. You have to apply for a job. If you keep thinking that I am Libra ascendant, why I'm not getting a job or something like that, no. If you're still not getting a job, you should try and try and try, because individual charts matter. All right, you we have to also see, it is also matter that if there is any karmic relationship from your past life or not, if there is any karma depth is still happening, is still there in this life, if in this lifetime or not. karma consequences from this past, from the past life, also bring troubles into your life. All right, that is the reason most people do not get what it would expect to get. So keep trying. All right, if you're a Libra ascendant, you will definitely get a job, but don't think like this that Jupiter entered Cancer in 2nd June, now I will get a job. No, it doesn't happen like this, sir. If you want to get a job, you should apply for a job. That's it. Jupiter will help you. Jupiter is a Brihaspati is a divine energy. It will help you from the from your back. If you keep doing the good things, if you keep applying for a job. If Jupiter entered Cancer, Jupiter is in the exaltation, and if you know just sit back in home and trying to expect that all right, Jupiter came in Cancer and now I'll get a job. No, it doesn't happen like that, sir. You will never get a job, or you will never get a career growth like this. And I'm not talking about Libra ascendant. I'm talking about it is applied for all the ascendant. I'm specifically talking about Libra because I see my comment section people are mostly asking for Libra ascendants. Most people are asking for Libra. What happens for Libra? What happens for Libra? No, it doesn't work like that. All right. All right. Now, this was for Libra. Next, we have Scorpio. So, for Scorpio, Jupiter is over here in the 9th house. Now, your 9th house of fortune activates. What I call the Bhagya factor brings divine luck and meaningful mentors in your life. The caution here is very interesting for Scorpio. When things go too well, it becomes easy to ignore small health issues. Stay on top of the small details of your physical maintenance even while everything feels good. Your health matters, Scorpio. Alright? Please watch for your health. Now, next we have the Sagittarius boy. Right? Oh my god, what did I write? Sagittarius, right? So for Sagittarius, Jupiter is over here in the 8th house. Now, your 8th house activates bringing a psychological rebirth and the possibility of sudden wealth, inheritance, or through a partner's resources. The intense mental energy of this transformation can overwhelm your digestive and reproductive systems. So, avoid heavy foods during this period of deep internal change. Alright, for Sagittarius. Next, we have the Scorpio. Capricorn, right? So, Capricorn, Jupiter activates your 7th house. I don't know what does happen to this. Alright, Jupiter is over here. So, for Capricorn, your 7th house activates, bringing what I call the relationship reset. Soulmate level partners and high value contracts are both supported in this transit. The health caution for Capricorn is that emotional reserve, holding things in rather than expressing them, can create lower back or kidney sensitivity. Alright, practice vulnerability during this window and let the pressure release through genuine expression rather than holding it all in for Capricorn. Now, next we have Aquarius. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, Jupiter is over here in the 6th house. Now, for Aquarius, your 6th house activates bringing victory over obstacles. Depth, clearance, and legal resolution are both favored. The caution here is to not over service others at the cost of your own health. If you do not implement a strict liver and digestive routine now, you risk you risk higher medical expenses later in this year. All right. Now next we have Pisces. Alright, so Pisces ascendant, Jupiter is in your 5th house. Now for Pisces ascendant, Jupiter is in your 5th house, activates bringing creative legacy and breakthrough related of children. Since Saturn is also on your Lagna right now, real discipline is being demanded of alongside real discipline is being demanded of you alongside this creative expansion. So watch your sugar intake specifically. Channel the surge of confidence this transit brings into structured creative project rather than into financial speculation. All right. Now this was for the 12th sign. Now let's come back and let's talk about how to track this for yourself. Now let me give you one piece of practical guidance before we close, because this transit moves through 4 very distinct chapters, and I genuinely think it helps you to track where you are. So right now, are you in the June breakthrough phase, full of fast movement and being opportunity, or are you in the July silent growth phase where things have slowed down and the work is more internal, or are you in the August and September deepening waters, building real structure under your growth, or have you moved into October transition, shifting your focus from inner security and outward leadership? Now, knowing each chapters you are currently in helps you to understand what kind of action is actually appropriate right now. Trying to force big external action during this July silent growth phase will frustrate you. Sitting passively during this June breakthrough phase will mean missing real opportunity. So match your action to the chapter you are actually in. Now let me close with something I want to bring back to the story I shared earlier, the story of Brihaspati and Tara. Now, Jupiter's greatest act in the story was not gaining something he planned for. It it was choosing to nurture something that come from disruption, something he did not originally choose. Throughout this 5 month, you are very likely going to encounter your own version of this, an unexpected situation, a relationship that did not go the way you planned, a change you did not ask for, a part of your life that feels like it came from rupture rather than from careful design. The invitation of this transit is not to reject these things. It is to ask yourself how you can dignify them, how you can nurture what you did not consciously choose and turn into something that actually becomes part of your legacy rather than something you simply tolerate or resent. This is genuinely the deepest teaching available in this entire 5 month window. Beyond the wealth, beyond the career growth, beyond the relationship blessings, the real curriculum, this learning to love what you did not plan for. So move with speed because Jupiter is moving fast this year, but built with truth, because what is built here in haste without real foundation will be revealed when the retrograde audit becomes in January 2027. So stay grounded and act with intention and honor what comes to you, even the things you never asked for. Now, if you want to make your free Kundli and birth chart, visit the Cosmic Dharma website. The link will be in the description below. And if you want to book a personal consultation with me, you can DM on Instagram. You can just simply DM on Instagram. Link will be in the description below. And if this video helped you, please like it, share it with someone who needs a full picture of this transit, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a video. Drop your Lagna, drop your Ascendant or Rising, whatever it is, all three things are the same thing, in the comments below, and tell me which chapters of this 5 month journey you will feel you are currently in. I genuinely want to track this with all of you as a community. So until then, move with speed, build with truth, and let the golden window become the foundation of your next 12 years. Jai Shri Ram.